Good evening, team, and welcome to a very hot and sweaty long run show brought to you by the 40 Rounds podcast. You're welcome. But before we carry on, we was all just having an argument before we came live on air, which I think is genius. So if you're listening to this as a pod, you're just going to have to wait and we'll pick up what we're talking about tonight in a minute. Let's carry on this conversation. So we literally were just talking about weight loss and running, right? Yeah. I said I've got to lose another 2 stone, which Wilco was kind enough to say, "God, Fordy, you're so slim now already, and so handsome, and so tall. I don't think
I stressed it quite that much,
quite
to that extent.
You used the word handsome, tall, thin, young, all that. Oh, basically, all the things that Hayden's not. But what he said, and then he said, "But you don't need to." And I said, "Yeah, but I need to get quicker because if I lose weight, I'll get quicker." To which Wilco went, "That's bollocks." Apologies for the language early doors, but I'm just paraphrasing.
Okay.
And then admin went 2-footed on him and said, "What, admin?"
Well, I don't believe that's true. You know, whilst there are different types of weight you can carry, right? People can be way more because actually they're just really athletic and carrying loads of muscle. If I look at all of the world champions and Olympic athletes and the people that are winning marathons, for example,
and triathlons,
1,500 meters, like every distance, they are all pretty slim, I would say.
Lean,
slim. I've never seen anyone, I'd like to think, in all the time I've been watching athletics since I was a child, in the top 3 or even on the starting line, really, that I would deem as medium build or larger.
To which Wilco then responded, he's Googling something, I could tell him.
Yeah.
Being thinner can help you run faster, but it is not the only factor influencing your running speed. If being thinner comes from losing muscle, it can reduce your power output, negatively affecting speed.
That's why this is true also as well.
That's true, but come on. Every world champion athlete and the fastest people.
Mate, how many world champions we got?
2 sitting here.
Let's just, we've got. Let's talk to the common man. Let's not put people down thinking they're too big.
No.
They can't run.
No. That's not fair, and that's not true. I'm definitely not doing that. Right?
No, I'm not doing that.
But I'm just saying that his point, which is, if I lose weight, will I be quicker? Possibly, yes.
I think we've found that middle ground. This is not a black and white issue, is it? Admittedly, I'm quite prepared to say that perhaps I went a little bit over the top to say it was bollocks. But I would urge people, and Chris, you as well, mate, don't think that weight's everything and you've got to get rid of all this. You are a good shape. You're in good nick for the age you are. You don't want to go too far down that path and make yourself too miserable and all that sort of thing. I've got to lose weight. I've got to do this.
Can I just say,
I've got to do that.
Wilco, it's really kind words, but I am already miserable. So I think
you're not getting for the last 5 years.
Well, don't try and be too
more miserable.
Try not to dig deeper into that hole.
No,
of
I
despair,
appreciate the kind words. No, I think to be honest with you, it's all about being happy within yourself.
Yes.
I'm going to leave these words with you before we introduce the show. In pursuit of happiness. I just want you to leave that with you. It's meaningful. You're welcome. So, tonight, we are talking about setting extreme goals. That doesn't include weight loss. Okay? Because we can't have more bad language on the show tonight.
Yeah.
So, we're going to be talking about that. And there's a reason why we're going to be talking about that. And I'll come on to it. Before we do that, I'm going to do some plugs. I'm going to make sure you've all signed up as a 40 Rounds Running Club member. It's free. You're welcome. You can join any of our satellite groups across the whole country. Again, you're very welcome. If you want to join as an affiliated runner, 20 or quid, something like that, you can then rock out 15% off at sportshoes.com on all your shoe purchases like Wilco does. Okay? So you can crack on with that. If you want some help with some coaching, some training plans, send an email into hello@fordyruns.com. We can sort you out along those lines. And I think that's probably as much plugging as I want to do tonight. Now, Before we get into the rest of the show, I do have a question for you. This is a serious question. Admin looks right. It's Friday the 13th. So,
Oh, yeah.
do you have any superstitions for runners? So, anybody who's now joining us live, as the people in join in to be entertained for the next 55 minutes. Also get involved in the chat. If you're running along, listen to this pod. Think about this. Do you have any running superstitions? Yeah, interesting. Right. We're going to start with Ben, who's here tonight. Ben, any running superstitions do you have?
No, I don't think so.
No?
No.
That stupid oil stuff on your legs that we found the other week, that CBD took, that doesn't make any difference. We found it out from a scientist, by the way. So why did you put that? Is that not a superstition?
No, I don't always do that.
Don't you?
There's nothing that I don't think there's anything I massively do like kind of as a superstition. I would probably at the start of a marathon, I will take a minute and I'll have my chain in my mouth and just use that as a focus. That's probably the only thing that I've got.
But do you do that at every race?
I know any marathons.
So you don't put one sock on before the other?
No, I like to eat on the tube. You know.
No, well, we know that. That's because it's just not right. Yeah, I mean,
but superstition. No. I genuinely, I just put whatever sock I grab first, and it says R or L on it.
Darren, these are pre-race. We're coming on to in race. Okay. Wilco,
I'll put my shorts
pre-race.
on first.
Yeah, pre-race.
Yeah, I'll put my shorts on first. That's it. But then that's a habit rather than a superstition.
I'm talking about superstitions.
Nothing that I would say, oh God, I didn't put my shorts on first. That's it. I'm going to have a terrible race.
You don't do like 3 taps at the head and turn around and go, right, I'm ready to go now.
No, not really.
Kiss the ground or.
But I would like to do that next time.
Yeah, so why?
Kiss the ground.
No,
I'm going to get up again.
3 taps of the head, tap of your shoulders, turn around 3 times, and you're ready to go.
But just get up.
Do you have any pre-race superstitions?
I don't know if we call it a superstition, but from Hackney when I got to the end and you were laughing at me because I went, I put on my Chicago kit today because, I thought I'd have a good run in it. So there are certain tops that I've got that I feel like if I put those on,
a good shout.
I will, because they're tops that I've either PB'd in or just had really good runs in, whether that's just had fun or whatever. So sometimes I do feel like if I wear one of those, it's going to be a good day.
I just try and find one that fits.
There is a good evening, everybody. I'm just seeing the comments now. We've got somebody from Toronto, which is pretty awesome. My bro's downstairs watching the Canadian qualifying practice. So that's always good. But yeah, get your questions, get your comments in as you join the show tonight. So all right. So no, I like to tap a hobbit on the head. He's usually dressed in pink and he's quite small. I like to tap him on the head 3 times or breathe in his deep heat that he's got. That's a good superstition. In race, Ben.
In race, yes, I will always. I will always. I'm just thinking, do I always do that? Yeah, I'll always try and grab the water from from on the right and grab it in my right hand. But that's just. And I say, is that a superstition or is that just a habit again? I don't think if I've grabbed it in my left, I'm not like, oh my God, I can't drink this.
Interesting. Darren just wrote that he goes, he won't run over 3 trains. It's interesting. Wilco?
No, not really superstitions in that sort of respect. I'll just, there'll be things that I don't feel, I always have, I have to have a, what do you call it,
You tell me, bruv.
A buff.
A snood.
A snood on my right wrist.
They're available at the FORDY store.
And invariably, I usually have underneath it as well. I usually have my park run wristband.
Oh,
what's that? The ice thing.
Yeah, but unfortunately, it snapped. So I've got another one in the post. So hopefully tomorrow's park run will go okay.
And we would recommend, on a serious point, getting them.
Oh yeah, particularly for me because I live on my own as well, and people could, I've not got anybody sat at home waiting for me to come back from a run and things. So I always carry that with me.
And if you don't know what that is, that's an identity band with emergency contact details on.
Yeah.
Strongly recommend you wear them if you're running. Admin, superstitions in a race?
None.
Well, you don't really race though, do you?
No.
Just giving up.
Well, if I do, I just go as fast as I can for as long as I can and hope for the best.
Yeah, but that's not a superstition, is it? That's
That's
more
what I mean.
strategy.
That's a
Yeah.
tactic.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a
but
tactic.
that's what I mean. I don't have any otherwise.
It's fun, isn't it? I just wondered. It's a weird thing whether people had superstitions in the race. I bet people do. Like maybe only take drinks from one side, like because you've got the things.
And I bet there'll be people that like have their gels in certain pockets and go, "I've got to go right before left."
Wow,
or,
this
you
is
know.
where I was going.
Oh,
Because I actually do that. I'll always start on my right. I'll go right, left, and then when I get down to it, I will then switch them over. I always do it.
I'll always have gels left side, salt sticks right side.
Yeah, but is that superstition or is that because of comfort?
Well, I don't get too stressed about these things, mate. Life's too short. Isn't it?
It's just
There is that, but I always start gels right hand side, go bang, 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 and then I move everything to the right hand
Well,
side.
because you've mentioned, haven't you, before? Like you've said, write the numbers on your gels while you're doing it. And I'm thinking, how the hell do you do that? Mine are all over the place. I just grab the one that's the nearest.
That's a good system. It's a good system.
But I couldn't.
What if you grab the wrong number?
Well, then you put it back in. It gives you something to do.
I've got to run.
You're out there for 26. Yeah, but the speed you run, you've got loads of time.
You don't need gels. It's all done to you.
Right, I've peaked. I don't need gels.
Exactly. You have peaked. So there you go. I just thought it'd be interesting thing to ask because it's Friday the 13th, isn't it? People are all freaked out about it. I was just wondering whether there's people are superstitious when it comes to running. I'm not really sure. I think a lot of it, as you said, is more habits than anything else. We've all got our own, as you say. Ben rolls on that absolute waste of time, spent all that money on that oil that does nothing because we've scientifically proven that. And then Wilco does whatever it is with his buff. You got your little habits that you do, but you don't necessarily. Would you say that?
I wouldn't say,
oh my God, race is dependent on that.
No.
Weird, isn't it? Something to think about, people. Something to think about. Anyway, next, because I do want to get on to talking about extreme running goals. Southend half marathon. Before we carry on, Wilco, you got a big smile on your face. Did you enjoy that?
I did. I had a great time. I ran with my mates. I ran with Big Ben and Kieran and Paigey and Zoe and one of their friends. And we just went round together. We had a good laugh. We shouted at a lot of FORDYs on the other side of the road to the extent that one group in front of us was heard to say, I ain't bloody listening to this for the next 2 hours. And they sped up and got away from us. So
they're lost.
Absolutely. They did not have as good a time as we did. And it was lovely seeing everybody afterwards, even if I did get abused about my picnic.
Why was you getting abused about your picnic?
Well, I sat down, had a little picnic and all this sort of thing. And people say,
what'd you have?
I went a bit.
You went a bit bougie.
Well, a bit bougie, was it?
Oh, yeah. I had like a couscous potato salad, bit of chicken. Nice. In a little box.
Yeah.
Little box.
Tupperware box, knife and fork.
Yeah.
A what salad?
Couscous. You know had it? Lovely.
Who eats that, Monk?
Me.
Yeah. It's good for you.
Right.
Lots of people.
Right.
Sabrina eats it.
At work, they had this thing called halloumi. Who likes halloumi?
I had some.
Yeah.
Why not
We
just
love
give
halloumi.
me? Why not just give me like meat?
Oh, it's lovely.
What's wrong with you?
It's just stuff.
Did you eat it, or did you just look at it and turn your nose up?
No, I refuse. I refuse to go.
Well,
there
you can't
all
judge it if you're not going to eat it.
I refuse to go there all week. If I can't pronounce it, I ain't eating it.
Oh, come on, mate. You're missing out.
I am not eating that. Just go back to lemon and herb chicken.
Oh, yeah.
Because I'm used to. I have it every day.
That's too spicy for you.
Why change it? I'm used to having the same
Branch
thing.
out, mate. Life's an adventure. You were talking about doing different things and doing stuff that, you want. I watched a video 20 minutes ago of you talking about priorities and things like that, and different things that you were going to try, different things you were going to do. Yeah. Halloumi should be on the list.
Can I say, there's two people that you love that love halloumi.
Oh.
One is Toby.
He's my hero.
Exactly. And the other is the doctor. He loves halloumi.
Does the doctor eat it?
Yeah.
Oh, I might have to start. I needed to talk to him this week, but I spoke to his assistant, Paigey. Yes. So you're totally off track, by the way. But what I was going to say, Ben, did you enjoy Southend?
I loved it. It's brilliant. It was really, really nice. Kind of coming just towards the end, seeing your mum and dad there. Kind of, I'd been looking out for them, and then was like, oh yeah, that's where they're going to be at the end of that. God, turning right, just doing that last lap of park run is a bit soul destroying. But Yeah, and then I jumped back round to where your mum and dad were and cheered everyone in, which was really nice. And then observed Wilco's bougie. I don't even think you can call it a picnic. Basically, a meal in the park.
What did you have?
but
I didn't have any. I had a bag of crisps because I'm a hero.
that's not going to keep me going all day, though, is it?
Yeah, but what else? Oh, I had I'd eaten everything across the finish line. I had a banana brunch bar. Love it. Get snacks.
It's a picnic. A picnic is not a bag of crisps and a banana. You have to make more of an effort. You got to step up.
I mate, you're right. Admin, you wasn't there,
No.
but you did enjoy Global Running Day at the pub with us, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. I had a great time.
That is out. Yeah, that podcast is out now, isn't it? When we recorded it in the pub, that didn't go too bad actually. The audio was terrible to edit. It was awful. That's so AI'd, like just to try and get something out from that. But we learned a lot, which is good. But that was a good event as well, actually. To be fair,
it was great actually. There was like loads of FORDYs, but loads of other running clubs showed up as well, which is just brilliant, right? There was no egos involved. It was just people coming out to have a good time. The pub run guys had their huge speakers out, different groups setting off. It was really, really good fun, actually.
Yeah, it was a really good week actually for just the community, and even this week seeing so many runners attending all the satellite groups across the country. It's just phenomenal to see. It really is. And then obviously we came on to the main event, which everybody wants to talk about. Ben, I don't know if we've let anyone know, but should we tell them that we did a triathlon?
I mean, I don't think anybody knows.
I don't think we mentioned it anywhere that we did.
I don't think you have.
I don't think. And that video, by the way, comes out on Sunday. If you're interested in that.
I can't wait.
Why?
I mean, I've got to when you put that video out, I'm going to put the video out of how you just bowled up. Like it was like Santa Claus, just not in a red suit. He had the biggest bag over his shoulder.
I planned for all eventualities.
Well, I mean, I thought like you were going to have an inflatable dinghy in it.
I nearly did. Did you not see that big thing I had with me?
I mean, I did. I kind of wanted it.
Yeah,
yeah, you just rocked up, and I just thought, what the hell?
I had everything in
this guy
bag.
bought.
Honestly, it was as tall as you are, and it was full of stuff that I didn't need. And I reckon I used 1% of everything that was in there. This is
you didn't even have your wetsuit in it.
I didn't even have wetsuit in there. I used my bro's one.
So I was like, what was in that you?
I'm not really sure.
Used?
To be honest, I'm not really sure what was in there because my
Did you just have like pool toys and stuff like when you're a kid and you need like a bucket?
I'll be honest with you. I mean, I can't even remember what I put in it. What I did do is I bagged up like each. What do they call it?
Change clothes.
The different things you've got to do.
What for the transition?
Yeah, so that's it. The transition. So like transition, like I had all my swimming stuff.
Yeah.
In like a bag, and then I had like all my biking stuff in the other bag, and then my running stuff, so I could just go through them. And I sort of laid. So that was quite bulky, to be fair, because I put them all together. And because I didn't have any of them like biking boots or whatever they call them, I needed a couple of pairs of trainers. So I had to sort that out. And then I had another pair of trainers because I didn't want to get wet feet because the weather was awful. I think the thing is as well, if the weather was like it is this weekend, then I wouldn't have taken that big bag. But because I was so worried about all the different weather, although I
don't believe you.
I don't believe that at all.
But the best thing was, I tell you, the best thing about the whole thing is, right, and you don't see that on the video because the video is more about, and I've tried to make it to the point where hopefully people who may have been put off by doing something like that because of the fear and the anxiety around doing it and barriers that have been put up in people's way, to stop them maybe doing it. Hopefully I've reduced some of that by seeing the fact that an idiot like me can do it. I do genuinely hope that some of those barriers can be removed for you to sign up and actually go for it. You'll be surprised how fit you are. You'll be surprised how you can do it. So that's the thing of the video, the sort of thread of the video, let's say, through it. But what you don't see, and we should have made a second video about this, is how many rules we broke. I got threatened to be disqualified maybe 5 or 6 times.
Every event, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think literally we turned up and they just lost their minds. Like, because you're not allowed to do this, you're not allowed to do that, you've got to wear this, you've got to do this, you're not allowed to touch that. Honestly, there's so many rules, which I respect, right? I totally respect that. It's an important thing. It's no different to any sport, right? But really, come on, guys. If you're going to make it a little bit more appealing, you know, you've got to be a little bit more lenient. But they did lose their minds on like, and we had permission, by the way, to film and do all that. I made sure I had permission to do everything. They were fully aware that we were coming to film it, to make a video about it, to prove, hopefully, that more people should be doing it. Don't be put off. It's not just for elite people who are like absolute weapons of mass destruction. Everyday people can go and do this, right? People who are neurodivergent can go and do this. People who have got other issues that maybe was holding them back can go and have a go at it. That sort of thing. That's what I wanted to prove, right? I appreciate it's bloody expensive. Put it out there, but yeah. So that's the thing. But in the process of doing that, I do think we upset every rule person. The people on the transition stations were losing their mind. I had a guy chase me on a moped. I'm not joking.
Why?
He threatened to disqualify me. But when
on the bike ride, Sabrina, so you can imagine his
I was on my bike ride, and he got back on his moped and all this, and he chased after me, and he's come alongside me. I'm going to disqualify. I said, okay, that's fine. Do you want me to stop now? I've really got no problem being disqualified if and he didn't know what to say because
why did he want to chat?
Because of the camera. Because of the camera. But I said to him, honestly, mate, I've got really, honestly, no problem. If you want to disqualify me, please
disqualify me. Yeah.
Just you want me to stop
I can
here?
get off this bike right now. Then.
I was going to say, do you want me to stop here? But that blew his mind because obviously that's the thing that they use to smack you over the head with a stick, and rightly so. Yeah, if you're breaking rules and you're doing naughty stuff, then absolutely. But because I was just like, I don't really care, and he just angrily drove off. It was brilliant. He was, but again, I was in the wrong, whatever, and I'm happy to take the blame for it. And I was quite relaxed about the whole thing. If I broke any rules, just disqualify me, no problem at all. I'm not there to upset anyone. I made sure I was like proper left on, like I was almost on the biking thing. I was almost on the grass the whole time because I was so worried about impacting other like proper people. I lost my chain at one point. I didn't know what to do. I walked up one hill, and the thing because again, I didn't want to get in people's way. All I think I did for like 2 laps was just apologise to everyone. I just go, sorry. Oh, sorry, come through. But it was nice actually. Two guys came in. He said, "Don't worry, mate. This is a friendly triathlon," which did really make me think.
What the unfriendly like?
What the unfriendly? That's like. Does that mean that all the others are unfriendly? But he was a nice guy because I apologised again. I was trying to stay left, trying to stay everyone's bloody way. Don't get me wrong. I was still knocking about I wasn't hanging about on the biking thing. I did it an hour and I must have got off the thing about 5 or 6 times at least, right? Because I kept waiting for Bryce, but it wasn't Bryce that I was waiting for. Just random people. So I wouldn't say I was slow. But I was so worried about getting in, like when the carbon guys come through, you don't want to get in people's way and ruin their day. But yeah, it was just so funny, and like they were just losing their minds every time we did a transition. It was great.
Which was the toughest part?
Oh, the swim for sure.
Was it?
The swim was tough. The biking was boring, and the running's just like I just want this to end. I'm done now. It's so boring. Triathlons, I've got to be honest with you, are boring. There's just no point to them. I don't see. It's great, right? And I respect it massively, but for me, it's just boring. I just don't see the point of it. You get all that gear out, and you've got to do biking, which is a total waste of time, as everybody knows. You have to do that swimming. I'm in a lake, and I'm just like, yeah, great. Do you know what I mean? It's like I feel like I'm going nowhere because I'm so crap at it. But I have to say, actually, the volunteers, and I give them a shout in the video. They were so good. Yeah. The volunteers, like the normal volunteers who were there, were so good. The guys on the canoes in the lake, right? Yeah. The people who like set you off, they were so good. And again, please go and, even though I've just said it's boring, but you've got to go and try and do it, yeah? But they're so friendly, so welcoming, so helpful, the volunteers. They were unbelievable out there. They really were just brilliant.
Do you think it was boring, Ben?
No, I didn't think it was boring. The thing is, it was. I didn't think it was boring.
So
I thought, why?
It's just a waste of time.
But ain't there with the boredom thing? isn't there more going on, that more stimulating than just going out on a run? You know,
What,
Did
you're
you
in the
find
water?
that?
You're just in the
Did you
water.
find that sort of like, oh right, well, the next thing's coming up. You know, you're doing
you're
something for a
kind of
set period
planning
of time.
ahead.
You're just
You're doing
drinking
different
Legionnaire's
things.
disease.
No, the lake was absolutely fine, and he did say
Yeah, it
beforehand
was
you
clean.
could
Actually,
pretty
it's really
much
clean.
drink the water.
You could see the bottom. You could see the bottom, which was good because I thought I'll be down there
Did
in
you
a minute.
stick your head under?
I just
In-
thought there'd
in
be
your
more.
right-
Oh, yeah,
going on.
I got bored. I just kept looking about.
Fishing.
So
I think
boring.
I thought with the bike ride, what I really liked it was because it was 3 laps, and I don't like biking either. I'm not not a massive fan, but I think you were kind of learning the course and kind of going, right, I can push a little bit and do that. The run was it was tough. The thing I didn't enjoy, and there were people who broke the rule. It clearly says you're not allowed to wear headphones, right? And there was someone running. Now I run with bone conducted normally, but there was this I was going to say there was this one girl running, and she had proper over the ear headphones on, and I'm like, that is dangerous because you are running as well on part of it where bikes are coming towards you as well. So it was, and I was just like, how have you've come out of transition doing that? There's loads
And they're
of
having a
people.
go at me.
Yeah, and they're having a go at you for a camera. You've got. Yeah.
I had all permissions again. Just make it clear, I did have permissions.
So that was my only thing. Was it would have been quite nice to actually have kind of just on the run, maybe like music or whatever.
Oh, I did, Ben. Oh no, I put my phone because these people were laughing as I was running past because I had a song. What's in the Barbie movie on? That came on, and these people looked at me and just started wetting themselves up. I said, "Oh, everyone loves a bit of Barbie," and they carried on. And everyone else I'm going past people who are like dying.
I didn't even have my phone on me.
Oh yeah, I took my phone out. I was doing selfies and stuff. I said I was so bored. It was so boring. It was just dull. It really was. So I would recommend it to everybody to do it once. No, I would seriously. Yeah,
like it.
no, I would. Even though it's as dull as dishwater, I would thoroughly recommend you do it because I think it's a good challenge. Don't be put off by the barriers that are in place for some. Speak to the organisers before you go and do it because they are really helpful. The Blenheim people were so amazing, Motive Sports and all that. They were so good. The volunteers, as I said to you, were just, you couldn't have wished for nicer people, yeah? The Blenheim one I would recommend because the water genuinely was clean. Yep. It was as clear as anything. The safety in the water, that's one thing. I never felt unsafe in the water. Yep. They were brilliant. The biking thing, as long as you don't mind getting bored for an hour, it's all right. It's a bit illy. And that's that. But all that sort of stuff, it's well organised. You've got the bit to the car and that. It's all self-contained. It's a bit up and down, but it's a good challenge. So I definitely recommend you do it if you're a runner.
And I'd just like to say, mate, congratulations, because I knew that was a big barrier for you to do and a big deal.
Thanks, man.
And you've got out, without blowing smoke, you've got out there and done it, and you've ticked it off. So
thank you, mate.
Well
I was genuinely shitting it on the way to in the way in. But again, watch the video. Hopefully that shows that you don't have to take these things too seriously, but at the same time, set yourself a goal, go out there and smash it, which leads us on nicely too. Setting extreme running goals. See what I did there? Well done, Wilco. We got through it.
Nice segue.
Yeah, good segue. We got some people in there hammering Wilco about the halloumi.
I love it. I don't care.
I just don't understand it.
Have you never had it on a barbecue?
What?
Have you never had it on a barbecue?
Why would I have it on a barbecue? Who eats barbecue food? Barbecue food, you're going to get food poisoning.
No, you're not.
You are.
No, you're not.
I never eat any food off a barbecue. It's
Oh,
never cooked properly. It's never clean. Personally, might have cooked his, might have had COVID. You can't trust anyone. Yeah, you don't know the sell-by dates. You could have kicked it around the kitchen. A dog could have licked it for all you know.
I'd still eat it.
How do you know that you can't eat off a barbecue? It probably hasn't been cleaned, right? And they probably haven't even used antibacterial gel on their hands.
How do you eat in the canteen at work?
What canteen? Yeah, well, I don't really at the moment.
Or the cafe or wherever.
I don't really at the moment, to be honest with you. But I have when I go there, I get at the moment, I'm getting the leafy salad. Yeah,
that's not been washed. That's definitely
it has been washed because it's got, and it actually infuriates me because it's got too much water on it. I don't understand.
It might have the old slug, a bit.
Why haven't they drained that properly? It's infuriating. Anyway, moving on. I then move down and I have the cheddar cheese because I need calcium. Yeah, so I've got foliage, calcium. Then I skip all that other like all this stuff he eats.
Look, someone's grated that with their hands they haven't washed.
No, it comes in a packet. You get. I just. You get. I just had it on my because it's a Friday. I'm allowed it. So on my protein, the food I had downstairs, I put a little bit of cheddar cheese on it because Buds likes a bit of it. Anyway, so then we move down. We skip all that that Wilco eats, and then we move down to the hot protein because I'm on protein. I'm going for protein. Yeah. So I moved down there, but the dirty, stinking, ugly people use, instead of chicken this week or beef or Korean pork they had on there the other week, halloumi. And I wouldn't mind, but it was on all week. So what that does is that upsets me massively because I can't have the same thing every day. So what I've had to have is the beef, the brisket beef, because that's a good source of protein. But that comes with macaroni, cheese, pasta, which is carbohydrate.
Yeah,
So
Brilliant.
No, not really. So I've not got the leafy salad element, and I've had to have that every day.
Yeah, but why didn't you not have the cheese on your lettuce, mac and cheese instead, with a bit of salad with it? Perfect.
But no, that's not an option. You have to have what's on the menu. You have to have it, and I need protein. But you can't just have the beef because otherwise I'll just have the beef. But they put it with mac and cheese. What?
Did
yeah,
you ask?
But then they
Can't
still
you
charge you.
salad extra?
What? Yeah, then they charge you more, and it's about $8,000 as it is.
Why don't you take your own food, mate?
No,
Wilco's got a Tupperware you can use.
because I simply
And
don't
knife
have
and fork.
and I can't guarantee that I'm getting enough protein if I prepare it myself.
Of course you can.
Measure it.
I've got time to measure anything.
But how do you know how much protein you're getting from that then?
It's a lot.
I mean, is this scientific?
Yeah. It's proven. If I go there, I get a lot. If I go to the bar that should be having like proper protein, not halloumi, it's classified as a lot.
Okay.
It's true.
God, how do you live?
It's a
What about
structure.
the
Drive me
Yum-yums?
bloody mad.
What?
What about the yum-yums? Are they gone?
No, I don't have it. I've been serious. I starved myself all week of anything like that at all. Honestly, being serious.
Oh.
I don't have anything. I'm like a professional eater now.
Would you... a professional eater?
That wouldn't be my definition.
No.
It's true, but it just upsets me that they
You
don't.
ask them what they're putting on next week.
No, because I didn't want to set myself up for disappointment.
Oh.
What I was hoping is that
Halloumi.
they've seen the error of their ways and they've realised that nobody likes halloumi. And they've
A lot
gone,
of
you know
people-
what?
but a lot of
We're going to
people
sack
do.
that off now.
I think you've got to think about taking your own food, mate.
No,
Looking
it's
after
just-
yourself, sorting it all out.
It's
And
too
then,
much.
then that's it. It will be done.
It's too
And
much.
then you won't have to. It's one less thing to worry about. You
No,
take
it's
some-
Hold on. What I'm confused about, you have hot food. So you have like hot chicken with salad.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Protein.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cold.
What's up with you?
Protein. I can eat as much protein
Yeah, but
as I
hot.
want
Yeah.
With a cold salad.
Yeah.
No.
with a slightly
Yeah.
wet leafy salad.
Join us next week, folks, for more
Nutrition
lunchtime
tips.
dinner tips.
Dairy Lunchables, exactly.
It is a struggle. It really is. It really is a struggle. I
That's
just
what
wish
he
they.
needs.
But this has all come about because they changed the other menu. See, I used to have the same thing every day, which
Mm.
makes
You
the
just
price
said you
come up.
can't have the same thing every day.
Well,
But-
why you could make the same thing every day and take it with
No.
you.
And they used to make it every day, and it was a dream. I just go there, I get my thing, I'd
What
eat
was
it,
it?
be happy. It doesn't matter what it is. But the point is that I now decided that I switched over, which was a big deal, and I switched over to this new thing, the salad, the leafy salad, because it's good for you, with the calcium, little bits. It's not mental, and loads of protein. And I was quite happy. I was really delighted with myself that I'd made the switch over, and I was able to cope with that on a daily basis. I'd look forward to it because I have a protein shake in the morning, a cup of black coffee, and that's it. And so I look forward to that, right? Nutritionist meal kind of thing, but it's protein heavy. Lives. I really look forward to it. So can you imagine the disappointment when they put halloumi down there?
Can I just say, I know where you work, which I'm not going to disclose. However, there are probably at least 15 places within a 3-minute walk of you where you could go and get a chicken salad with a bit of cheese very easily. And
No,
it
but
would probably cost you late of £8,000. There definitely is.
But it's not the same thing. I like having the same thing.
And those places will definitely serve you the same thing.
Why change it to halloumi?
Halloumi. Well, there is no halloumi.
Well, just cut your losses, mate. Say, right, I'm never ever going to eat there again, and just find somewhere else, and
No,
then
because there's
eat
always
there
that
every
hope.
day.
I live in hope because I'm in pursuit of
But
happiness.
if you have hope, you're just going to get disappointed.
No, I'm hopeful. Tune in next week to find out if Hulimi's back on or back off the menu.
Well, maybe we could do a show from your work canteen. It won't be far from me from the office. I could get there in about 20 minutes.
If not, Darren's offered to send you a whole load of.
Honestly, it's incredibly. No, Darren, I can't eat McDonald's.
Yes, Darren,
in the
McDonald's
week.
is always an option.
I can't eat McDonald's in the week. It's not. I can't do it.
So what? Okay, so at weekends, then what are you able to eat?
Anything I like, but here's the problem now. Here's the problem. We are not doing a program about eating this week, but it seems like we are.
I mean, it sounds like you are.
Because this is the problem when you go on. Abby's
gone. Oh, she's had enough.
But this is the problem when you go on this weight loss journey. What I've realised is, because I'm a hero, is that now I've got to the point where I'm not eating anything. I am eating. I'm not. I may come across thick, but I'm not. Okay. But because I'm not eating as much as I was, right? 100 bags of crisps. Easter eggs.
Now.
I told you I cleared that before I started this.
Okay. Just
so, what was I saying?
You
were saying you stopped eating the crisps and all that.
Yeah. So what I did was, and what that realised that's happened over the course of this period of time that I've changed my diet, changed the habits. Let's say, what I realised is that I can't actually eat that much anymore. So when we went to, we did that try on Saturday, and all I had after that, again, this is not nutrition advice, by the way, because I wouldn't recommend this to anybody, but I just had a ciabatta from Starbucks on the way home because that's all I fancied. And then, because I didn't want to eat heavy because I had the half marathon today. I've got a sensitive stomach in that respect, so I didn't want to go nuts, right? But then on Sunday afterwards, the boys wanted to go to McDonald's. And for some reason, I don't still understand this. Speedgoat had 3 burgers. I still don't understand it. He said because they all had lettuce in them or salad in them that he decided he wanted 3 burgers. And so here's a serious question. No, stop. Here's a serious question. And I don't care now that nobody's watching this or listening to this, because this is just for me now. Who would get, right, a burger meal from McDonald's and then order with that, instead of a nice, cool Sprite, water, Oasis, something like that, Coke, whatever. Who orders a cappuccino?
Oh, no. Oh,
it's a bit strong, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Only with breakfast, 100%.
Why would you have a cappuccino? So you've eaten like a steak burger thing or whatever it is, or whatever. Or no, he had a real spicy one, whatever it's called.
Oh, we had the one with the hot sauce. I thought you were
and a double chili cheeseburger. But then
with a coffee,
with a cappuccino. No. Simon, that ain't normal, is it? It's not just me.
No, he should have had a Coke with that, really.
Anyway, look, just to finish on this subject, my point is that I went there. I struggled to eat it because I couldn't. It was too much for me.
Because you're I think your strength.
So it is working.
Yeah. I think you can fall into. I'm brilliant at diets. I've done loads. But the thing is, you can fall a bit too deep into compartmentalizing everything. If you'll make so much progress just cutting out the crap.
Which is what I've done, effectively.
Yeah.
Cut out the rubbish, focus on the protein, not eat halloumi. Right.
Is that it now?
It's a long show.
40 minutes on halloumi.
The best thing is we've got to do a pre-record after this.
We've actually not spoken about running for 39 minutes.
I know. We're getting like that. What's it called? The Running Channel podcast. It's like none of it's about running for 40 odd minutes, and then we'll get hammered in the reviews. Anyway, it is what it is. I can't. I have to get all this off my chest. Extreme running goals. That's what I wanted to talk about, because the thing is, you do see it, right? People are setting big running goals for themselves. I think a lot of that comes from pressure, what you see on social media, that sort of thing. So I generally was honestly thinking about this. I just wanted to touch on it because I think there's sort of pros and cons to this. And even us sort of more experienced runners can get caught in this trap as well. Ben, I'm looking at you, talking about doing Ironman and things like that. So I wrote these down on the train. Pros of setting extreme running goals. You ready?
Yep.
Then we will concern. Pushes your limits. So basically, this is following after my triathlon thing. Increases motivation, sense of achievement, improves physical fitness, and you do build some mental toughness. So pushes your limits. So these are the pluses. Pushes your limits, increases motivation, sense of achievement, improves physical fitness, and builds mental toughness. And now, is there any other pros that I left out there? Or do you think any of them shouldn't be in there?
I question the second one.
Increases motivation.
Yeah, because I think depending on the kind of person you are, what you can set that goal, and as you start doing it, it can either feel really motivating, as you've said, right? Because you're like, right, I'm going to do this, or actually the pressure of it make it the opposite. I don't know whose dog that was, but
That was
ain't
mine.
all right.
It's not mine.
Yeah, so I get what you're saying, but could it have the adverse effect? Throwing it out there.
And I'd agree with the sense of achievement as well. Similarly, with that's it. If that goal that you're setting isn't achievable, or actually you can put so much pressure on yourself that actually, there you go. Is that Buds? You can put so much pressure on yourself that you spiral, and actually, as you said, there's no motivation and that sense of achievement. You end up in a much worse place than you were before. So I think they can be pros, but if you're it's extreme but sensible still. Like I could put, right, I'm going to set a goal of 2.5 hour marathon. Is that ever achievable for me?
Not for someone.
No, you're too slow. You peaked.
Exactly.
No, but you're right, because actually then, you could run, for argument's sake, 2:35 and everyone be like, that's phenomenal. But in your head, because you haven't hit that number that you've set your goal, actually it could feel like a disappointment. And
but then the cons, come on to the cons. I'm trying to stay positive here.
All right, sorry.
Oh, sorry.
You're miserable. Honestly, so miserable.
Do you want some hello?
Because right, so some examples. I thought about it. So extreme running goals. I thought for some people, catch the 5K.
Yep.
Complete like a half marathon as well, like stuff like that. Obviously, the marathon distance, ultra marathon. But then you see these absolute maniacs who are doing like a marathon every month, 7 marathons in 7 days, and these crazy challenges that people are doing. I'm not saying that not everybody does that, by the way, but it's like it does spiral. Like everybody's trying to like one up on each other almost. Do you know what I mean? It's like, and it's great. You see the like, celebrities do it for charity, which is great, right? The amount of money they raise. But on an individual basis, you do think to yourself, this is getting a bit lively, isn't it?
I love what it does for the sport, right? And the awareness it raises, and people see. Like Jamie Lang did those 5 ultra marathons in 5 days, right? And people are like, "Oh my god, I'm going to get out and run for 5K or 5 minutes." Brilliant! I love that. But also, sometimes when these people are, they're doing them in very set up, situations where they've got physios, nutritionists, people running next to them, coaches, all of this stuff. And so, what that can do to the average person, whilst I'm not saying it's not achievable, you do just have to be wary of, how easy it actually is.
How many times do we say don't compare yourself to anybody else?
Yeah.
And these are the things that you have to be mindful that people are doing these things. It's not necessarily a good idea for you to be trying to do these sort of things. You've got to be your place and your own place on the ladder. And the reason why these things are crazy is because they're bloody hard. They're difficult. If they were easy, they wouldn't be spectacular, amazing things if everybody was doing them. So I think they just have to. I always think that goals need to be the more specific they are, the more restrictive they are. It's much better to. I think, like I made a comparison on Sunday. I was talking to somebody. Rather than having a time goal, have a goal of I want to do well. I want to come off, and I think I've put it in. I've given a good shift. And it went well, and I've had a good day. Rather than, oh God, I've run all right, but I'm 5 minutes slower than the time that I wanted to do, so that's no good. Back to the drawing board. That's not going to think. You've got to think, did I give it a good go? Have I put it in? Did it go okay? Am I feeling good finishing?
It's funny. Because I had a call with a client this week, and he was saying what do you think, for Chicago? And I said, well, look, ultimately, my goal is for you to finish it and feel good. Feel like you've accomplished something. The time's irrelevant, to be honest with you, but feel good when you finish it.
Do you remember Hackney the other week, Chris? And I finished.
Was I there?
Yes. We went for something to eat afterwards. Do you remember I came round and you were laughing at me because I had my Chicago kit on. But
she had full Chicago kit.
Yeah,
I mean, literally, the only thing missing was the bobble hat.
But, I came round feeling over the moon, right? Because I'd been out, I hadn't run a half in, we think probably 18 months, if not longer. And I'd had the best time, right? Yes, it was tough in places.
Yeah.
I'd been with my mate and I'd come round and I was smiling from ear to ear. Mm-hmm. And Bilal and you were like, God, you look happy. And I was like, I've just had the best time. I feel so good for going out there, getting it done and not worrying. And
that was me last week.
It was the same. Don't get me wrong. It was the same feeling as what people might describe when I've run really well in terms of speed or whatever. But it means just as much. So you make a good point that actually it doesn't have to be about a time. It can be.
Go back to Saturday. I felt like an absolute hero. I would probably say it was personality. I could care less. It was that sense of achievement based around the goal that I'd set. I had no time goal in mind. I don't give a shit. It was more about the thing. Okay. The downside, spoken about some of setting extreme goals. Okay. Risk of injury. I think that's pretty obvious. Oh yeah, I've just done Couch to 5K. I'm going to do an ultra next week. What? Mental burnout, time commitment as well.
Yeah.
Unrealistic expectations, and then obviously neglecting recovery, which I think goes on to back to risk of injury. Yeah. Any other sort of cons that we haven't mentioned?
I would suggest neglecting the other aspects of your life, whether
priorities like my video.
Yeah, your family, or maybe work's never going to love you back, but there may be work commitments that you've not been able to do, or you mentioned in the video, you want to do stuff around the house and do your garden.
Yeah,
and, just the other things. There's a time and a place for knuckling down, but if you're constantly having these extreme goals or anything, the rest of your life's just going to get taken over by it, and that ain't healthy.
No, and Wilco's referring to a video I put out. Vlog I put out, was it last week, Wilco?
I think it was Sunday, so I just picked it up and saw it today.
Priorities, where I spoke about how I switched my sort of priorities post London Marathon, basically, which is why I've been doing not a lot really, but focusing and prioritizing on other things ahead of my Chicago Marathon training block, which is coming up, and prioritizing the important things in life, actually, to be honest with you. So go and watch that video if there's something. It's quite true, because you don't realise these, and it doesn't matter whether it's a marathon, Couch to 5K, whatever your endeavour is, it will consume you for a period of time. It will take over because you're so, and rightly so, focused in on that running goal. You've got to remember, and that's what I've tried to learn from previous blocks, that you do need to, when you finish that, give yourself the time to soak that up. It's like we look at it in training in a way. You have like a down week, and you have that period of time to let the training catch up with itself. And it's the same thing, when you see people doing all these 400 million marathons in the spring because it looks great on social media, but you do need to give your body and mind some time to recover from that. I did 2 in the spring, which is a lot, because as I always say, you don't need to be doing all these marathons. So you do need to give your body and the mind the time to recover from that.
I'm in this position at the moment because I did 3 marathons in the space of 11 months, and now I'm not doing one now until Paris in April. And I'm really looking forward to doing something different and going out and doing get a few more park runs on a Saturday morning, have a crack at a few 10Ks, the odd half here and there. And just having the 6 months where it's not sort of like, right, it's Monday, it's 6 miles, tempo pace, and all that. Just not having that. I really think it does help to. I class it a bit like when they don't have Glastonbury one year and they let the grass grow, like have a fallow year. I just have a little fallow period where I'm not in marathon training, and I know that here we are, we're in the middle of June. I know when Paris training starts around Christmas, I'm going to be bang up for it. I'm going to be raring to go. And having a little reset like that, things have to work for you. You have to find out what works for you.
Mhm.
But I've discovered, like the last time I did this, I had 3 months, a similar sort of period, 3 marathons over the same period. I did 6 months of thing, and I just went out and ran, and I broke my half marathon PB time 4 times in 6 weeks.
Mm.
You know, because I was just out and banging it out and just having a different focus really helps.
Yeah, it's true. It's again that basically I've done that in a very compressed sort of thing. So that's quite a lot for me. Usually I go bounce from one training plan to another, but I deliberately have taken this period of time in the middle and effectively down tools for a bit and prioritizing what needs to be prioritized. It's important. I feel better for it.
I think they can help though, to your point, because well, crazy running goals, because they're different for different people.
Yeah.
And so you made a point. To someone, completing couch to 5K could just right now feel out like wrong possibility, right? Going out for a run, someone going, the weather's nice, I want to go out for a run, and they could, you know, filled with anxiety, not knowing, I don't have a pair of running trainers, I've only got, you know, one pair of shoes or whatever. So there is, you know, it does push people, it does give people something that may put them outside of their comfort zone and make them feel that sense of achievement that actually I can do something a bit different and I feel good at the end of it, just for getting out and getting that bit of fresh air or whatever it is. It doesn't have to be ultra marathons, 3 marathons in 3 days, whatever it is, right? It can just be going out.
I would say extreme running goals do work. Depends how you classify extreme.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, break it down, listen to your body, get, for Christ's sake, some form of plan structure in place. Whether that's you go out and get a coach or you get a plan off of 3 or 9 or whatever. Make sure you stay agile, stay flexible with that, be realistic within that as well. But there's nothing wrong with set. In fact, it should be encouraged. And again, I'll go back to Sunday's video. Just at the start, it's all about getting out of your comfort zone. And as I always say, we get one go on this rodeo. You don't want to go with any regrets. Go and try stuff, and setting yourself an extreme goal. Yeah, why not? Go for it.
Yeah.
But do it in a sensible way.
That's the key.
Don't be some helmet on Instagram who says I'm going to go and do this, and then 3 weeks later they're injured. It's just absolutely pointless. I've got a question for you. Are you going running tomorrow, Abin?
Maybe.
Where are you going to
go? Down the river. I've got a new river here.
What do you mean? What, they just build it?
No, as in not the one I used to run down when I lived near you.
Oh, look, they just built this lovely river. I'm going to go and run down there.
No,
it's rained.
It's just, it's a puddle. And it's now been made into a river. I'm going to go and run around there.
Yes, Hayden's built one in his back garden and he lives down the road. So
I'll be honest,
it's Hayden's moat, isn't it?
It wouldn't surprise me.
No, as in the river in Surrey, in Kingston, which is lovely.
The Thames?
Yeah.
Is it the Thames up here? I don't know. Yeah, it must be.
Again, I go back to my point. I am thick, right?
Yes, it is.
But I know some things, and I think it's called Kingston upon Thames because it's on the Thames.
Oh, right. Yeah, there we go. Yeah.
She's meant to be the brains behind the operation. This is very worrying. And I wouldn't mind, but she was down there last week.
Yeah, exactly that bit that we ran down.
Yeah, that's the Thames.
Oh, right. Yeah, it's nice down there.
Upon Thames.
And there's loads of nice little shops. I can stop for a coffee on the way back and walk back to my car.
Pop back in the pub.
Yeah, you too. There you go.
Honestly, I don't even know why I asked her now. It's painful.
I mean, that was brilliant. I loved that.
Kingston upon Thames.
Yeah.
The Thames. There's a little river here. Oh.
There is. It's lovely.
I don't know what's worse, that or my Holimi story. Ben, are you doing your 100th this weekend?
No, not allowed. Genuinely, I'm not allowed to do park runs.
So Ben is on 99 park runs, okay? I don't know whether I'm allowed to tell anyone. But he's on 90.
I mean, you are, so.
By the way, did you find out how many I'm on?
Yeah, 93. You've fallen. You've gone backwards.
I think they've removed some.
I feel that we were like one. We were one apart, and then
yeah, but I love park run, but I just don't get time to do it. Okay. So I'm on 93. So, question to you all: do I make that a goal before the end of the year?
Yeah.
You could, but you're going to prioritize your Chicago training. So is it? I mean, realistically, you got to do 7 by the end of the year. I think that's achievable.
Is it?
Yeah, you've got
No.
6 months completely.
Think so?
And also, Chicago's like the start of October, so there's easily
Yeah, 7
7
weeks after
after
that.
that.
I'm just asking. I again.
So yes,
I
is
don't
the
want to
answer.
devalue the 100 part run for anybody, but I'm just saying to you, I'm
It's
not.
quite a nice thing to do.
Is it?
But hold on. Why?
Yeah.
When are you going to do yours, Ben?
Next
No,
week.
it's not about
I'm
him.
not
It's about me tonight.
It's not.
Oh,
You're
okay.
93.
No, I'm joking.
Halloumi.
No, when are you doing this? We keep it under wraps so nobody knows. But are you going to do it at Clapham on the 5th of July, whenever it is?
No, because then I'd have to not run for the next 3 weeks. And
You
you
don't
know
really
I
run
love
much anyway. So.
Exactly. Next week,
Where are you going? So just so nobody turns up.
Aldenham, because it's Petch's last RD at Aldenham.
Oh, so everybody go, because Ben's buying cake and tea and coffee afterwards.
Oh, there's lovely breakfast at all.
Yeah,
There's
there
a
is
great
good
breakfast.
breakfast.
It's all on Ben. Aldenham Park Run next week. When you go into the shop, just say this is on Ben's tab. Okay.
There you go.
Make sure.
It is a good breakfast there, to be
It
fair.
is a good breakfast. To be fair, it is a good breakfast.
And it's a good park run.
It is
Yeah.
a lovely car run.
I've only
great
ever done
park
it
run.
at Christmas in the rain. And
Oh,
the
No,
wet.
it's
Oh,
a
it's
cracking one
lovely
in the summer. It's lovely. It's round a reservoir.
Lovely park. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a lovely park.
it's really nice. So definitely get along to that next week. I say Ben's buying the cake and the tea and coffee and all that sort of stuff. Wilco, are you planning on doing any running this weekend?
Yeah, I'm going to the 500th park run at Panshanger, which will also be my 50th at the venue.
Oh,
So that's worked out quite well. So I'm going along to that, looking forward to that. And I'm going to hopefully drag some of the Broxbourne satellite group round the disused gravel pits around Waterford and the villages around there for a nice little 6 or 7 mile type trot on Sunday morning.
Waterford.
Yeah.
Where's that? Don't say
That's
Waterford.
like-
I'll knock you all out.
Just outside Hertford. It's on the way. It's the first village you come to if you drive out of Hertford on the way to Stevenage.
Is that where they do the crystal?
No, that's Waterford in the Republic of Ireland.
You're bad. You're as bad now as her. I'm going to run along a river in Kingston.
Yeah, I am.
The Thames. This is awful. I have to actually. We should actually, Ben. You should do the apology. We should apologise. I think this is one of our worst shows we've ever done.
yeah.
Oh no, I don't. I think it's been a cracker.
I'm surprised still that this is one of the walls. So I will hand on heart apologise for Ben this evening, and all the talk about food. I'll be honest. I don't think we've added any value at all to anybody. I know it's a stretch most weeks that we had any value to anybody, but I think this week I've probably offended most people who do triathlons. Anybody who eats that, whatever you call it, upset everybody in the canteen.
Don't ever do that, mate. That is the worst thing.
Don't upset the canteen.
Don't ever upset the canteen.
I know,
It's like going on holiday.
it's
Always
spitting your
look after
food.
the bloke who's pouring your drink.
It's like the person on the barbecue. You know,
Exactly.
you can't trust the person who's making the food.
But in happier news, at least we've identified which river runs near Sabrina.
Yes, at
Near
least we now
Kingston
know
in
there's
Surrey.
a new river that's just been found in Kingston upon Thames, and it's called the Thames. So hopefully they add it to the name. Honestly, this is what happens when Hayden goes on holiday. This just turns into the worst show ever. Right, team. So next week we're not here because basically we're all going to this race in St Albans. And we're doing stuff there. So we're not here next week. So we're going to do a pre-record after this for next weekend, next Friday. It's going to be a cracking show. It'll be a lot better than this crap.
That's a crazy goal, if ever.
I would, even if you just stood here and read stuff out from a script from ChatGPT, it would be better, more entertaining.
I actually think we could just sit in silence and it would probably be
more entertaining.
useful.
Hayden's going to go nuts when he listens to this.
He's going to love it.
He's going to lose his mind. How bad this got to this week. It's embarrassing. So yeah, we're doing a pre-record after this, so we're not live. I'm live on Monday. So if you've got running shoe questions, coaching questions, cheese questions, whatever you want to talk about, come and join me on Monday at 8:00. But next Friday we're not here, and then we'll be back the sort of following week from there. I think that's it, team. Right, that's it. Guys, you better go and get yourself a drink because we've got to do a pre-record. Sorry again to everybody who's had to listen to this rubbish live. I can only apologise for it. We'll be back next week, but if you don't want to tune in, I totally understand. To be honest with you. But we'll see you all later. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.